Yeah, absolutely excited to have Pretty Jane here today at Waterloo Records doing some in-person podcasting for South by Southwest. How have things been going for you guys?
Great so far, except for that our bus decided to break down the first day of tour.
Yeah, also we were driving and one of our hubcaps fell off and we looked out the window and it was rolling down the side of the road.
Oh yeah, I swear it's a bad omen. I just started the driving shift and then like 2 minutes in, hubcap going down the road.
Yeah.
Overtaking us.
Amazing. Is that like a typical occurrence with I'm assuming you're kind of like renting a bus kind of deal. Do you usually have issues? Okay.
It's an old retirement home bus. We call her Chloe. Okay. Well, I call her Chloe. You guys haven't really agreed on the name.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Chloe yet.
Okay.
It is becoming a regular occurrence. There's like she makes strange noises, but you know she always gets us there. You know.
We just spent $6,000 on a new suspension, and now the front is going out.
It's a monster bus now, but a couple more issues.
We love her.
Perfect. You guys, just keep sinking money into a bus, and I guess I like asking to start. When you grew up, what music were your parents listening to, and when you kind of found your own ear, what music did you start kind of diving into?
I talked about this the other day, but I actually had I think I had my sexual awakening to the back of a Poison record.
Okay.
Because he was totally asking about your sexual awakening.
Yeah, no.
What was your sexual awakening, man?
They say answer the questions you want to answer, right? It's like politics. Well, for some reason, when I was in like 4th grade, I got really into Poison, of all bands. I don't know why. But I lived in Thailand at the time. It was really hard to get records, so I like really had to look for this record, and I finally bought the Open Up and Say Ah vinyl. And on the back, they're like in drag, and there's all these pictures of them in like sexy nurse outfits, and it was like, I didn't know that they were guys, or I just kind of thought they were girls, or maybe they didn't care, either way. I just spent a lot of time looking at the back of that record. I got really into Poison for a little bit.
My dad was a big Jim Croce guy. He was also a big Simon and Garfunkel guy. And I feel like my taste pipeline has sort of come full circle, where it started with like particularly Paul Simon, and then it's sort of come full circle to like the same style but in modern with like Adrian Lenker, Big Thief, which I think Adrian Lenker is like my biggest inspiration of all time. But yeah, thanks Dad for getting me into like folk and stuff.
Yeah, right. No, I would always catch my dad like playing his acoustic in his bedroom when I was just a kid, and I would always just kind of peek around the door like, hey, I want to see what's going on in there. So he was kind of implanting the ideas early. Lots of classic rock, a very niche band actually. The guys that wrote the King of the Hill theme song, that was like one of my biggest bands growing up, which is very odd, but like Arizona Southern rock. But that evolved much more into like I'm a big like Syd Barrett, David Gilmour fan, Pink Floyd, all of that kind of stuff, psych rock. So that all kind of influenced everything.
Yeah, also shout out to Mike, Ethan's dad, for letting us record in his basement for like years and years and years. We're finally out of the basement, Mike. Thank you.
Amazing.
We made it out the basement.
We made it out the basement.
Made it out the basement, and last year you guys released an EP called Public Intimacy. I'm just curious on kind of the overarching themes of it. It was like a 5-song EP. Just kind of talk about what went into making that, and is that like the prelude to a bigger record?
It sure is.
Thank you for that segue. Thanks, Fuego. I mean, as far as themes go, you'll notice with a lot of the songs on that record, particularly Stand So Close and Quiet, there's this like really tense sort of sexy feel, which kind of ties in, kind of a sexy feel.
Trying to capture that feeling of like sexual tension, right?
Yeah, I mean, and we were going through a couple different parallel situations, which tends to happen with us romantically.
Yeah.
Where there was this sort of like, does she want me, does she not, sort of thing. And you can really, I think, hear the tension come out in like the arrangement and the vocals of Stand So Close, and Quiet is quite literally written about that. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I think that's where the name Public Intimacy comes from, because we actually we're talking about this the other day, but there's kind of a publicly intimate thing about performing. Like, performing is kind of a form of public intimacy, but I think just kind of like living out those like very intimate moments that you have in your romantic life on a record feels like public intimacy, and so that's where the name comes from. And I think we're going to continue that on the record that we're going to be releasing in like 4 to 5 business months. But I think we're going like sonically a little bit more like alt country with it, but definitely the same sort of like inspirations.
Yeah. Love that. Now, is it in terms of the album? You said 4 or 5 months. Is this something you guys are sitting on already, or is still kind of working towards?
Writing, demoing.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do. I really want to do. I want to record it in our basement. Go back to the roots because we did the basement thing. I started working at some big recording studios in Nashville, and so we got free studio time. Did all the records. I recorded all the records in the studio, and we had these, great gear, big rooms, and
it's been funny to see though, like the blessing and curse of like free studio time at some of the best recording studios in Nashville. It's like you have access to incredible equipment and the time, but that amount of time like doesn't really constrict you into producing, and so like I think you can tend to spend too much time on a project, and we've found that when we do less in the studio and we keep it really underground and we do it in the basement, we demo everything out, we get like a lot done and we get a product that we feel like is really like authentic and organic.
Because we're just like, there's no time to not be yourself, you know what I mean? Like you have to just, whatever comes out, comes out. And so I think that's what I want to do. I want to like live track the whole thing. So play with the whole band together in our basement studio that we have in Nashville.
Amazing. So we were kind of talking before this that you guys, recently-ish moved to Nashville. How has that music community been for you guys? And is it really, has it helped you kind of grow as a band, or is it just kind of, reaffirmed what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. I think you had a good answer for that.
Well, it's made us grow 100%. It's changed our taste quite a bit because there's such a cool scene coming out of East Nashville right now.
It's not just like country, or it's not just alt. It's
both. I mean, like you've seen the resurgence of like pedal steel in alt music, and I think that largely came out of Nashville. But it's influenced us a lot, and like to the point we're going two-stepping every Tuesday at this place called Eastside Bowl that they do this like swing dancing thing every Tuesday, and they're playing like old country standards, and now we're listening to Brooks and Dunn, and we're listening to Webb Pierce and stuff, and like it comes out a little bit in the music because it's just hard for it not to when you kind of fall in love with the scene.
Sure.
But on top of that, there's just such a beautiful, very mature sound coming out of East Nashville right now. Hannah Eade, who's also playing with us tonight, and who might make it in here for an interview or not if her plane doesn't make it on time. That I think really embodies a big part of the sound of East Nashville, and we love it. Yeah. So definitely influenced by that a lot.
It's got this sort of like Bushwick feel, with like a little bit more like heavy alt stuff, which is surprising from Nashville. Yeah. But East Nashville is like this little bubble off. It almost feels separate from Nashville, but it still has that DNA, that like Western swing country DNA, and I think that's really cool.
Love that. When you guys are approaching songwriting and making a new album, is it a super collaborative process between the three of you, the other two included, or is it one person comes with an idea and then you kind of work around it?
I think it used to be more collaborative, and we've actually been like experimenting with splitting off more.
Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot more okay with Trevor coming to us with lyrics or a song that's more fully fleshed out and feels right to him, and then we're happy to work around that and feel like...
Yeah, I think you just got to figure out what works, and like we've lived together I've lived with Ethan for like 7 years, but we've all lived together in Nashville for like 3 years now, and it's sort of a trial by fire. You got to just figure out kind of what creates the most authentic product, but also what gets the job done and quickly. Right. And lately, I've been having sort of a crazy situation with my mom, who's been in the hospital for like 3 months, and I'm not going to get into the whole mom situation right now, but it's been a big point of inspiration for me and something that I've written about for years and years, and almost to the point that it made it difficult to write with these guys, because I had this really heavy family situation, and it just, how do you collaborate on that with other people? Like, how do you take something that's so viscerally personal to you and be like, what lyrics do you guys want to put in that song?
Right.
And it, like, to the point where it's a little difficult, and like being my biggest inspiration, like it just made it a little hard to collaborate on lyrics and songwriting and stuff. And so a lot of the songs, especially the old ones, ended up being kind of a cool, like, middle ground between it was like I was drawing from the same emotional themes of that situation, but you could apply it to many different situations, which to me is my favorite kind of art. You know, you're not listening and being like, oh, this thing happened to this one person, and I'm like listening as this sort of like they're the narrator and I'm the audience. Right. I just think art is, I feel what's happening and I can apply it to whatever situation I'm in now. And I just find lately that when I'm like writing on my own, that tends to be how it comes out, you know? Yeah. But there's plenty of songs that we've written together as well. Like a lot of that EP, Public Intimacy, was written, all of us, you know?
Yeah. I think there's something cool that happens also when you write alone, where it's like you get, you know, the full distilled flavor of Trevor, or like the full distilled flavor of like an idea that me or Ethan will bring to the table.
It's orange sherbet, that's the flavor.
Yeah. What would my flavor be? Banana Oreo. That's mine.
That's just your cookout milkshake order.
Okay, you don't have to out me like that. Do you have cookout here?
I mean, I'm not from Austin. I don't have a cookout where I'm from.
I haven't seen any.
No, so
Are you all hip to cookout? Do you know ball?
I don't even know what cookout is. So you have to. Okay, amazing. In terms of, you know, being an artist singing titles, you know, you have to wear what feels like 100 hats. Do you guys enjoy the social media side of being an artist? Is it something you have to like really force yourself to do, or does it kind of come naturally for you?
We didn't for a long time. We really hated it for a while, and I think it felt like, how can I be like the other people on social media that are succeeding right now? Which I think every artist goes through, right? And then you start to realize, and I think this is and this isn't just social media, this is art that I've been realizing lately, is you just can't be anything other than who you are exactly right now. You know, and you can try. Sometimes it works, sometimes people pull it off.
But it's exhausting.
It's
gonna come off less cool.
Yeah,
it's not sustainable.
It's really not sustainable, and it's frankly not what most people are looking for. You know, like people like, especially when, you know, in the era of AI, they don't want your best imitation of whatever's working right now. They want, you know, real, authentic. And I think that's been coming out in the way that we've been marketing lately. Is like, it used to be like, all right, let's plan what we're gonna do in this video, and now it's just like point the camera and just like talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember back when we would like we lit 300 little candles in Trevor's room, and he was like burning himself, and wax is pouring down his arms.
Like,
for
it
a
looked
single
so
social
cool.
media post.
It looked like fine. It was not that cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was sweet,
pretty cool.
But that
but
level
it was
of
like a
effort
5 second.
Was it sustainable, right? And like, to some degree, it wasn't authentic.
If you find it, you can show the clip.
The amount of wax we scraped off of your floor was insane.
Yeah, well, speaking
With
of
credit cards.
Speaking of Jim Croce and old records, when we were doing that, we were putting these little wax candles on my record player, thinking that they would kind of just like stay in the little cup. Yeah. It melted all over my like record. There's a Jim Croce record that I have that's unusable now. It's got wax all over it.
I didn't even know that.
Not worth it. Be yourself.
Now it's really fun though, because we just have someone hold a camera. Basically, we have this like old camcorder, which is kind of fun to like have to hold like a physical camera and not just like a little phone. Right. And then we just walk around and do stuff and talk about stuff, and whatever comes out. And I think it's become like this really fun process now.
It's gotten a lot more comfortable for us. Yeah.
It's just like we're just hanging out.
Right. Yeah. The forcing of it isn't there, and I'm sure like all that work went into this video, and I find when I do that, it just flops anyway, and then you're just like you're stuck questioning like, why did I spend all this time on it? It's like the worst feeling in the world. I'm interested. You brought up the AI piece. How do you guys feel about AI in music? And I feel like it's probably a negative stance, but what's kind of the take?
Keep it the fuck out of here, you know?
Yeah.
I personally think it's great. I think we should switch to like doing all of our
most of
AI.
the EP was AI.
Yeah.
I think initially I wasn't like anti-AI across the board, but I think I'm seeing sort of some of the effects of it, you know? Especially with like some of the stuff our country is doing and the uses that it's like. Yes. I just think that it's not innately bad. Like I think it could have been used as a good tool.
It's a tool, right?
But knowing what it's being used for, to me, just like I think we need to take a stand and say no to the whole thing at that point. You know,
replacing
and who's in charge of it
instead of supporting them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a mom and pop AI. It's it's the 1% AI.
Right.
So.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd love to hear your stance. I mean, I think that you're pretty in tune with music as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I think AI music is super dangerous, right? Like art inherently is human, and to take that humanity out of it turns it into this very like sterile product that I don't, I mean, a passive listener, you could get by an AI song, right? But someone who's taking time to listen to the music and to actually try to hear it, you could hear the difference. You like it doesn't feel right, and I don't think it should be in music or art in general. But we have AI pictures of anybody doing anything, and it just feels kind of really weird to have to really like sit and watch a video sometimes and be like, is this AI or the bunny's jumping one? I think that got everyone. Yeah.
Like,
So
when you stop and think about how dystopian that is, this is normal now. Like,
yeah.
Was that a real video or was that completely fabricated?
It's such a weird time that we're in, and that it's just going to be 10 years from now, it's going to be normal, and it's going to no matter what, no matter how much railing against it you do, that's just it doesn't feel like you can stop the train. I guess more of a fun question. If you guys,
hold on, real quick. I actually kind of have a hot take on
okay,
the AI thing
let's
that
hear
I
it.
share earlier.
Yeah.
But I actually think AI, not to be contrarian here, but I think AI in music is having a good effect on music. And here's why. I don't think AI is good for the reasons that we just talked about, but I think that it's having actually kind of an interesting and cool effect on the music industry, because I think there was a while when the goal was to make music that was as perfect as possible, essentially doing something that AI can do now, right? And I'm not saying that stuff is bad. I love like a really good pop record. I mean, Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa, love that record. Awesome record. The early Katy Perry stuff. Sounds perfect, but I love it. But I think that there was a time when people were miffed about like the humanity being lost in music, and I think now that AI can do that in 3 seconds for no money, that stuff has kind of lost its value, and I think where people are finding value is back in that human stuff. And so there's kind of been this push to fill in the gap in the market that AI is going to leave behind preemptively, because we know that that's what's going to happen. And so I feel like there's been a big resurgence in just like really imperfect, garage band, punk music, and I think that's cool. I think that's great, and I think that's why you're seeing alternative music, become as mainstream as it is right now.
Which is funny timing, right? Because like we're talking about having used some of the best recording studios in Nashville and like really polishing our old records and stuff, and now we're just live track the thing, do the human performance of the song and put it in the record.
Show the imperfections. People are more aware of them and want them more now, and that's almost like kind of a positive side effect, at least from the AI.
Thanks, AI. Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, I would agree with that take 100%. I think the imperfection piece is huge. Like the live recording, the live tracking, it goes a long way in showing that humanity. If you guys were teaching a music class, you were the teacher, and you had to prescribe 4 or 5 albums that required listening, what would be your 4 or 5 albums?
Sam, we're changing the future of America here, guys.
4 or 5
These are the
albums. That's a
impressionable
lot
children.
That's a lot of things. This is like when someone asks me what my favorite movie is, and I'm like, I don't know any movies, actually. I've never seen the movie.
I feel like we got to hit like multiple eras. We can't just do all like one era.
Yeah, it can't be all.
I feel like we could probably all agree maybe on The Stranger, Billy Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The Stranger, Billy Joel can take one spot for sure. I would put personally a Big Thief record on there.
Yeah. I was thinking which one though, like Dragon No More Mountain or Masterpiece.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I'd go with Masterpiece. It's got Paul. It's got Paul on it.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
I do love that.
Damn.
All the records are out of my head right now. I gotta open my Spotify. Can I do that?
I was gonna say I need the cheat code.
Luca, you're a big Talking Heads guy. Which Talking Heads record would you
Yeah, I
put
was
on
gonna
there?
say that'll be one of them.
Here's the thing. I feel like if I had to educate like a child on music, I would be like, that's something that you got to grow into. I feel like, you know what I mean?
What about like LCD Sound System?
Oh.
Somewhere, there's something in there for sure.
Yeah. Okay, how about, let me raise you, some Pine Grove album. Sorry, I don't know where my phone is.
Isn't it just called like ampersand or 11 or some shit?
Yeah, okay, absolutely by Dijon.
Yes.
I would make them watch the video because
Yeah.
I think that the video is like one of the greatest pieces of art.
One of the most.
And then kids are visual learners.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then Amperland
Amperland.
by Pine Grove. Also make them watch it.
Okay.
Is that 4? We're up to 4, yeah?
We're up to 4, yeah, one more.
Okay.
What have we haven't hit? I feel like we've only hit one like sort of 70s record. And most
we
of it
need
has
some
been
old
modern.
stuff, yeah.
Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Bowie? I don't know.
Bowie, yeah, maybe David
This
Bowie.
is too much responsibility.
Yeah, I
My
don't know.
responsibility.
I mean, if it was me, I'm again. I mentioned the Gilmore and the Pink Floyd.
Oh, what
I would-
about Joni Mitchell?
Ooh, Joni Mitchell
Yeah.
might be it.
What's
Blue
the
Album.
album with the Blue Album? What's the one with
What's it called?
We're looking it up.
I'm on it. I'm on
We're looking it up.
Myself as a fake Joni Mitchell fan here. I think it's just Blue. Yeah. I think A Piece of You is like one of the best written songs of all time, and like
A Case of You.
A Case of You, yeah.
Okay, final answer. Blue by
Blue,
Joni
yeah.
Mitchell as the 5th
Love it.
Yeah.
album.
Amazing.
Turns into a debate with us.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a funny question because everybody, like, you could really kind of pick somebody's taste through the 5 albums that they pick. In terms of the songs you guys have released, what song are you most proud of?
Come on, man, you're killing me,
It's
dude.
These are good ones. I mean, these are things we need to know.
You gotta pick a child, pick a favorite
All
child.
right, I'll go first.
And you,
I think our song Cattails was the first time, because you asked earlier, like, how do we delegate the songwriting? I think that was the first time I really went off on my own and had the confidence to just let a Trevor song happen, you know? And, you know, obviously that song was really personal to my situation with my mom. And it was the first time that I didn't hold back at all. And we were talking about like mimicry before and imitation, and it was the first time I think I didn't, you know, try to make it someone else's song. And so like I think looking back, especially with some of the stuff we're writing now for this upcoming album, there's stuff that I'm writing right now that I'm more proud of, but I think a song from the artist's perspective is more than just like how it turns out. It's also like the emotional space that you were in when you wrote it. And I think I'm just proud of what I did, I guess, you know, like more than how it turned out, or more than, which I'm also proud of how it turned out. And I love the production on that record. Thank you, Luca. Luca produces all of our music. Everyone type, I love Luca in the comments. But yeah, just super proud of like having written the song more than, you know, how it turned out.
yeah, I think I really love how that song turned out as well. I love how it feels. I think the other song that we kind of have really come back around to is Stand So Close. I think for a while we were put off by that song because it came out more pop than
It's
we
so
wanted it
fun
to.
though.
Yeah.
And so we felt a little bit inauthentic about the tone of the song and the tone of the production and the arrangement. But every time we go back and listen to that thing, we're like, man, this arrangement rips, and it feels so good, and it we just love it. It's so
fun
fun
to play.
And so I guess there is that part of us as well. That's where that kind of fun, authentic, tight pop song is just authentic to us, and we're happy to kind of own that now. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be my answer. Stand So Close.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I live my life in music curation, so I always ask too, like a song or a project that you've been really into recently.
Recently.
I just found an apple in my pocket. This is awesome.
Good ASMR right there.
Sorry. We give it up.
Something that we like super recently.
I gotta open my Spotify again. I'm so bad at like.
Can you repeat the question? I found an apple in my pocket and I got distracted.
A song or a project you've been really into recently.
A song or a project? Okay. There's this guy. I don't know where he's based. I'm going to finish chewing this apple and I'm going to answer this question. His artist name is Way Dynamic. And he put out an album pretty recently, I think. And it's all good. I think my favorite song off of it is Miffed It. I think that's what it's called, Miffed It.
That's a great one.
Way Dynamic is really cool. Definitely would recommend giving him a listen.
I have been. There's so many. I feel like I want to.
Tell us about your sexual awakening.
Yeah, you can go back to that.
So let's talk about Poison again. Well, one of our good friends and former roommates is in a shoegaze band called Fossil Creek.
Yeah.
That's a band I've been really into. I've also been really into Mercury, who's also out of Nashville. And then for my final one, I know you asked for one.
What about Bean?
3. Yeah, I was gonna say. Sorry, 1 second.
Good.
The internet here is so bad in Austin. It's like so horrible. Oh, I've been really into Randy Newman lately.
Short people got no reason. What about you, Ethan?
I have honestly kind of gone back to this, like, this is left field, but like 90s rap, MF Doom.
Yeah.
Some of those kind of samples and those productions were just kind of really fun. I've been enjoying those lately.
I just walk by your room because we all live
Yeah.
When I hear MF Doom going, I'm like, all right, Ethan's locked in
So
right now.
Ethan does all of our like web design stuff.
I'm the techie guy. I wear the
Yeah.
tech hat.
And I swear your like web design, working on your computer music is MF Doom because every time rap snitches Kanitches. Like, every time.
And then I guess just to kind of wrap it up, guys, you mentioned about maybe an album, and what can fans look forward to for you guys?
Well, we are embarking on our second headline tour. We're doing the West Coast. And then on the tail end of that, so that's our headline tour, and on the tail end of that, we're going to be opening for Callum Scott for his West Coast run, kind of circling back around.
Yeah, that'll be from LA all the way back to Austin, full circle.
So that we're really excited about that. We're going to, I think we get to play the Will Turn in LA, so I'm really excited.
I'm so pumped,
Yeah.
dude.
So excited.
Um,
Thank you for having us.
If you're in LA, come out.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like we said, I think when we get back, it's album time. We don't exactly know when it'll be done. But
Yeah.
it's
But
written.
where it's written, and we
I think y'all are gonna hear a really cool fusion between some of the Nashville scene influence and from like some of the Nashville history influence with like some of the tighter pop stuff that you heard on Public Intimacy. And I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be sick.
Yeah. If you guys stop by any of the showcases, we'll be playing some of those new songs as
Yeah, a
well.
lot of new songs in our live set.
See you there.
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, before we leave, I want to hear your 5 records.
My 5 records?
Yeah, we gotta throw it back.
Okay, so my 5 records would be self-titled Doors album.
Okay.
Give me Man on the Moon by Kid Cudi.
Nice.
Jeez, this is hard for me. I've never actually answered this question. It's funny. Give me...
I love how Kid Cudi can kind of just like growl into the mic like a jaguar. And
Yeah, and like I was like in college, like when that album came out, so like that was like, it was just peak, that was a good one for me. Give me... Yeah, see, this is tough.
Fuego, what was your sexual awakening?
My Sexual Awakening album, that's funny. I'm gonna try and hit some. Give me Sgt. Pepper from the Beatles. I'll take that one. You gotta give me. Let's see. I got the '70s covered. So you're trying to hit genre. Trying to hit eras too.
Right, exactly.
I went through a really big like punk-ish kick. So give me State of the Union by Rise Against. And Pink Moon by Nick Drake.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I was all over the place, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like how you covered a lot of ground. I feel like we kind of stuck to our favorite albums versus I feel like you thought about like kind of.
I'm trying to hit different spaces.
Trying to
Yeah.
educate the youth. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
right.
makes sense.
I feel like we could have used a little bit of like.
That's
rap
okay.
in there,
Yeah.
Something.
It's supposed to be personal to your taste, so you're good.
Right.
No worries. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you taking time today to stop over and see you guys tonight at the showcase.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.